Sometimes life hits you with the curveball. In fact, if it hasn't, consider yourself a miracle of chance. But for us, and I imagine everyone else, it always lands at the most inopportune time. It wasn't the first time something like this had happened, but it's never an easy pill to swallow. We lost one of our main cameras. And if I'm being honest, the loss of the camera, although not ideal, wasn't really the bad part. You see, it's easy to become a little apathetic about certain things on the road, and unfortunately downloading footage happened to be one of those things. So the bad part was we lost over a week's worth of footage. So bear with me as I attempt to tell this part of our story without the elements we typically rely on, but that's life, I guess. We're given what we're given, and our job is to make the most of it. We had almost 1,500 miles on the odometer since we'd left our home in Oregon, and after taking off from Craters of the Moon, our next destination was Yellowstone to spend some time in a national park none of us had ever been to. We had already spent a few amazing days in Yellowstone at this point, thanks in big part to our good friend Joe and the Abercrombie family. Because of their hospitality that I otherwise would have showed you, we had tons of local intel and a killer spot right on Henry's Lake just outside the park. But today we were headed into Yellowstone proper to explore some of the spots that made this national treasure famous.
Now that I'm looking back, I can see all the signs I tried to fill in the cracks that were spread in my mind, but I was all out of hope, lost in an endless maze. The emptiness had afforded just like a void, but you broke the coldness somehow and lit up the flame. And ooh, start feeling hopeless, screamed out loud because it felt impossible in my bones, like getting blood out of the stone on my own. But you came around and removed the thorn in my soul. You guided me out of the storm. I found home in your arms of gold, in your arms of gold, in your arms of gold. It's funny how easily a life can be torn apart. Why couldn't I simply see that I was sick at heart and I am in deep debt? The climb we did was unreal. You made me so speechless. I just can't believe it. You broke the coldness, felt impossible in my bones, like getting blood out of the stone on my own. But you came around and removed the thorn in my soul. You guided me out of the storm. I found home in your arms of gold, in your arms of gold, in your arms of gold. I rise from the ashes with pins and patches. We carry on. I rise from the ashes. I heal from your passion. My doubts are gone.
It's not a buffalo, it's a bison. In South Africa.
Felt impossible in my bones, like getting blood out of the stone on my own. But you came around and removed the thorn in my soul. My doubts are gone.
Yeah.
This had been our second attempt at the Grand Prismatic Spring, and the extra effort was definitely worth the payoff. Well, at least it was for Mom and Dad. We spent the rest of the afternoon exploring the park and enjoying the warm summer weather, but you can't really call it a Yellowstone experience without a stop at Old Faithful. The infamous geyser, aptly named for its punctuality, is only possible because of its pressure cooker-like formation. With its cauldron-like chamber full of volcanically heated water, it slowly builds pressure as it fills, only to be blasted out through a hole no bigger than a grapefruit. So with our geology lesson for the day complete, we spent the evening with our campground friends the Johnsons and the cowboys at the Yellowstone Rodeo.
So we're headed out to a rodeo. The neighbors next door to us are riding broncs and bulls tonight, and so we thought, I've been cooped up anyways in the trailer for the last 2 days editing, so I thought let's get out, go do something tonight. So we're headed down to the rodeo to see what that's all about. Should be fun. Kids' first rodeo and my first Montana rodeo. That was our neighbor at the park that we're at. They were the one that invited us out. So they did pretty good. I was impressed. There he is, right there. The man, the myth, the legend.
It's okay, alright, everybody up. Did anybody get that green stuff on it?
You got a coin? What were you doing? You were chasing it?
Cowboy ease in that gloved hand and the platted full rope. Got a buddy on the back of the chute pulling that rope's tail up tight. Take a wrap across his hand, behind his wrist, and over again. Ride the little red quarter horse.
Yellowstone was more than we expected, and to be honest, we probably could have spent all month there, but the road was calling and we still had so much to see. So after a crowded drive out of the park, we slid our way south to Jackson Hole in the Tetons, only to discover that not only were the campgrounds full, but dispersed camping was overflowing with fellow travelers as well.
Alright, well, after traveling near and far and trying to find a dispersed campground or campsite, we finally rolled up on this one where a couple of dudes said there's bears in here every night, and so they weren't comfortable staying in their tents, and so they were leaving to go find a hotel. And they just happened to be pulling out as we were pulling in, so we scored and lucked out all at the same time. But yeah, I'm tired and hungry. I don't like these travel days. They wear on me. Alright, well, it was kind of a fiasco trying to find a spot last night, but we actually ended up finding a spot pretty late, and it's a decent spot, just got no sun, but that's okay. Otherwise, we're going to go look for another spot this morning, since we tucked in here to this spot as a last resort. So we're gonna ride around, see if we can find a cool spot. If we can't find a cool spot, then we're going to stay here, I guess. But later on in the afternoon, we're gonna go to Jackson Hole and explore that little town. So it should be a fun day.
Okay, so I'm not even sure how to preface this part of the story, so bear with me as I attempt to try to paint a picture of how this happened. The plan was to get up early in an attempt to try to find a better base camp while we spent a few days in the Tetons. It was all going fine. We found an epic spot, had plenty of time to get everything set up, but if there's one thing I'm terrible at, it's trying to multitask under pressure. I just dropped the family off at our newly found spot with nothing but a can of bear spray. Meanwhile, I headed back to our original spot to pack everything, hook up the trailer, and head back as quickly as possible. Unfortunately, that didn't really work out as planned.
Well, as you can see, my day went south fast, and we found a good spot here in the Tetons, and I was trying to hurry up and get the trailer hooked up, and I forgot to flip the tabs over for this lock and roll hitch, and then the trailer bounced out, so I was trying to get it up, and meanwhile I have my ARB jack that the handle busted off while I was trying to do this, and so now I'm stuck using this little jack to try to make all this work, and I'm honestly not sure how this is going to work, so we'll see. This is not ideal at all. Hey man.
What's up? You alright?
Yeah. The trailer jack bounced off of the hitch, and so just trying to get it back on.
You got a jack then?
Yeah, I did, but it broke.
Oh fuck.
I had a high lift jack, but the handle busted off of it, so now I'm stuck with this guy. And I've got my stabilizer jacks, and I'm gonna try to get under here and see if I can get it lifted up high enough to get it on my truck. But
yeah,
nothing you can do, man.
Yeah, right. Fucking, you'll get her, dude.
Thanks, man. So now what I've done is I've got one stabilizer jack under there. I'm going to put one stabilizer jack under here, and then I'm going to lift the whole front up to see if I can get that going. But yeah, not ideal at all. I can't believe my freaking high lift ARB jack broke. The handle broke off. I hate that thing.
I got an off-road bottle jack. What's a bottle jack and a jack stand all in one?
That might help.
Yeah.
It's literally like the handle. This was mine.
Yeah. Those things are great, but then
They're garbage.
yeah, that's new.
They're garbage.
Yeah, let me grab it. It'll take me a minute. Down to the right a little bit more and then come back at it.
Alright, we're free. I got the help of a Good Samaritan passerby, and he had basically a high lift, not a high lift, it was like a bottle jack slash jack stand. And we were able to use that and the trailer jacks or the stabilizer jacks for the trailer to get everything up off the ground and backed up underneath, but I pretty much destroyed my my trailer jack, and that was 100% my fault too. So I twice now have dropped the trailer on the trailer jack, because I think I'll be switching to a max coupler because of that. yeah, that's not awesome. So, anyways, it is what it is. I'm gonna go back up, meet up with the girls and Jax, and I don't know. I need a shower. That was ridiculous, for sure. I guess what starts out as a perfect day can quickly decline. But the silver lining was nothing irreplaceable was broken. I still had all my appendages, and thanks to our good Samaritan, I still have a little faith in humanity. So I hurried back to the family, calculated our losses, tended to my broken ego, and found a perfect spot to decompress and reflect on the day's excitement.
Nope, I'm solid. I just get frustrated at you.